Hi there and welcome back to a new video. It seems like ages since we've done a chatty video.
It really does. It seems months almost.
Yeah, we meant to do this video at the start of our trip when we came back and it obviously never happened, but we'd planned to do one, hadn't we?
Yeah, we tend to do a bit of a sort of a review trip, sort of maybe some highs, some lows, what we thought, just a general kind of chat. If you've watched our videos before, you know the way that they kind of just go well, off topic sometimes a bit as well. So, but no, we just thought we would take this time now to actually chat about that, seeing as the series has just finished as well.
Yeah, and I think
so,
I just wanted to say as well, thank you to everyone that's followed along, watched our videos. We really, really appreciate it.
And if you're watching this video and new to our channel, go over and have a look at the recent trip that we've just that we're talking about now. So,
I'll
and
leave
welcome
the link
as well
down below for you. Yeah, welcome and thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. So we did a trip and we did 2 and a bit weeks. Did some off-site, did some on-site, bit of resort hopping, a little bit of everything, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was a bit of a mix, wasn't it, really?
It was a nice mix, actually. Went out for our wedding anniversary and I had a big birthday. It was a really, really nice mix, but we always like to do a little bit of a highs and lows, like you said, when we come back, just to be able to share so that others can learn, because that's what we love about YouTube, isn't it? Learning from other people. And I always think if we can share our experiences, good or bad, hopefully that will help some of you as well.
Yeah, and we're just going to touch on some things as well. We've actually realised going through this that there are some things we maybe do want to do a separate vlog on, a chatty vlog. For those of you who watched the vlogs, we did do the dining plan. So we're not going to really talk about that here, but we will be doing a separate video on that. So yeah, it's just an overview. We are going to start from the beginning, aren't we? Mm-hmm. As in from there. So I mean, we'll just very briefly touch on travel day, because I feel, is there much really to say about travel day?
No, we were just talking about it. It was a perfect travel day. It just went really, really well. It was just perfect from start to finish.
And also pre-travel day.
Yeah, it was just lovely. We did this thing where this is the second time we've done this now, where we've got there really, really early, sort of before.
As in on the pre-travel day.
Yeah, to the Premier Inn, actually before they even sort of like
checked in.
Yeah,
check-in time.
Check-in time, and we paid it's £15 extra at the Premier Inn on Bath Road by Terminals 1 and 3 at Heathrow. You can pay a little bit extra to check in early, and we did. And we had the Premier Plus room again, which we
love.
Yeah,
it makes a big difference.
It is a really nice room. It's like a really nice upgraded room. You've got the aircon, you've got the fridge, which I know are quite basic in some rooms, but really makes a difference. And we had a runway view again.
I think also the bathroom as well, the showers there is such a difference. It is just such a nice new kind of feel to the room as well. So I know you're only there overnight.
Or quite a long time if you're like us and get there at sort of 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
We have had it before in Bath Road that some of the rooms can be very stuffy.
Yeah. And
I think that for us can make a big difference. Getting kind of, although it might be short, getting a night's sleep really does make a difference. And so can't fault that really. The whole travel day, we grabbed something to eat there. The morning, it just all went sort of smoothly, didn't it? So time in the lounge the following morning, and then nothing really much to say about that. So it was really all a big win on that one. So
yeah, it went really smoothly. Then we started our trip in Orlando at Wyndhams, which is a hotel right next to Disney Springs, literally right next to it. It is just over the road. There's a bridge that takes you over, so you don't have to actually cross the road. And what was it, door to door? It was about 5 minutes.
I'd say that was from our room as well. So 5 minutes, no longer than that, and you were into Disney Springs. Wyndhams, Lake
Buena Vista. We were in the garden rooms, which they're like the motel rooms. I did do a whole video on Wyndhams because we were just so happy there, and we were really excited to share. So if you're interested in that, I will link it down below for you. For us, it felt like it had the perks of staying on site, but the price of staying off site.
Yeah, because it is actually, do they class it as a partner hotel?
Yeah, it's like a neighbourhood.
They use a neighbourhood partner.
Yeah.
So staying there, you do still get the perks of staying on site, because did we still get early entry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we still got early entry as if staying on site. So it was a real benefit. And like Lisa said, the cost, it was like staying off site but being that close to on site. So we'd definitely be staying there again.
We've actually booked it again.
We have actually booked it again. So yeah.
Plus also, I just wanted to add as well, the price for us was super good, because we joined a travel business a couple of years ago, so we get amazing prices. So things like this we can book direct and we get them at a discounted rate. So if you're interested in that as well, please email me. I'll leave our details below and we can share more with you. But it's definitely helping out with our travelling, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. Or if you follow us on Instagram, send us a message.
Yeah.
And just definitely more than happy to share. It's really made a difference to our trips.
Yeah. So just being completely transparent, we did book it ourselves and we did get a discounted rate, which included resort fees. We did pay extra for parking. You do have to pay for parking there. But again, we were so close to Disney and we got it at such a good price that it still saved us a lot anyway. So we were really happy with that. And another advantage, a big seller for us, was that there's a Joffrey's on site. And this Joffrey's, it's like a proper Joffrey's cafe with seats in the lobby, isn't there?
Yes, and also the full like bakery range as well. So we were able to get our... You've now actually been
You've converted me.
You were an apple fritter fan, weren't you? If any of you have had the Joffrey's cakes, Lisa was always the apple fritter fan, and I wasn't, but when you'd had one, I tried, I thought, yeah, that's really nice. I was always a cronut fan, or I think they call them croissant donut. The square kind of like croissant donut with the glaze on the top.
Yum, isn't it?
They are so tasty. I think you've been converted now, haven't you? They are so good.
I think what I liked there, though, I kind of expected would it be just like the lobby with, they serve Joffrey's coffee.
Right.
I didn't expect the full cafe experience, and open from 6 a.m. till 11 p.m. at night. That's longer than
really
Disney.
Good. It is good.
Yeah, so we really enjoyed that.
Staying there was absolutely great. The only thing that we would say about staying there, we did have, like Lisa said, the garden room. Now, the difference between the type of rooms there are, how do I describe it? If you've stayed before on site at, say, for example, All-Star Movies or the Pop Resorts, you think of...
Or the moderates.
Or even Lake Buena Vista. It's not Lake Buena Vista. Rosen Inn, places like that.
Yeah.
They are what you'd class as motel style, where you go directly into your room from outside. Which is fine, not a problem. We've stayed in those garden rooms before. We're on the ground floor, but what we did find, that for privacy, we did have to have our blinds down more or less the whole time.
Because people are constantly walking past.
So there were 2 blinds, but it was a case of we did actually have to have both. So there's a blackout blind and a normal blind.
Like what they call a privacy blind.
Exactly, which meant you felt kind of a little bit enclosed sometimes.
Yeah, it just felt, we are people that love a light, airy room. So it just felt, although it was a privacy blind, so light still came through, it did still make the room feel very dark. But when you're coming back to your room for a snooze or you're getting ready, you don't want the blind up when people are walking past your window.
Exactly.
Sorry, quick battery change.
Where were we?
We
were talking about privacy blinds. So we like to have a light, airy room, but also a bit of privacy as well. And I don't think that's unusual.
We did ask to look at the other rooms because we weren't sure what was the difference, because if you go and have a look at the bookings, if you have a look at the hotel online, you'll see that there's garden rooms.
And there's tower rooms, aren't there? Is it
Lake.
Sorry. I'll be quiet.
So we had the garden, which you've got like the garden views and all that kind of thing. But then you've got the lake rooms, which when you walk through to the lobby, you take a lift up and you're in like the actual hotel. So you have corridors, it's within the hotel. And it was a couple of $100 more. So we asked to look at those.
That was over the whole week?
Yes.
$200 more, wasn't it? Not every night, just overall.
That's a good point.
Yes,
actually. So we did ask to go and have a look, and we really liked them. They were so light and airy, because obviously you don't need the blind down.
And I'd actually say they were on par with Disney resort hotels. And I'm talking about your deluxe hotel rooms here. They were clean, airy.
I mean, the other ones were as well.
The other ones were lovely as well, don't get me wrong. The ones we had by the garden rooms were fantastic.
Yeah, and you've got like a full-size fridge as well.
Yeah, exactly. But it just had that feel about it. You could have been in a Disney deluxe resort type of thing with the room.
lake rooms. So that's what we've booked for next time.
Yes, so next time we have booked that, and I say being close there. Now, the other plus as well that I liked about staying at that resort is we've never really spent too much time at Disney Springs.
No, that's true.
We have done when we stayed at Saratoga because we could actually wander around to Disney Springs. But for whatever reason, I can't remember, we were only there a couple of nights. 3 nights. So we didn't really kind of do sort of too much exploring at Disney Springs or spending time there. But this gave us the chance to actually spend time in the evenings and the day, or maybe some of our downtime in Disney Springs a bit more. And I think we actually found that really, really helped. Again, if you follow our vlogs, a lot of our things we do are location based, aren't they? Or for example, if we're staying somewhere, the location of where we're staying will, impact on what we're doing. Yeah. So as we were staying by Disney Springs, it made sense that we would try and use Disney Springs.
We had a lot of cocktails.
We did, yes. But we enjoyed it. And I think that actually probably moves us on to the next point that we've got there.
I want to say actually first.
Oh, yeah.
We did have, because this is about highs and lows. We didn't have all highs. So we were awake on our first morning, about 3 or 4 in the morning, really excited.
We even actually went out for an explore, didn't we? We went for a walk around
with our Joffreys, and we thought, right, we'll get to the park for early entry. We were going to do Magic Kingdom, and then we realised that we were supposed to have reserved our bus. It's got free shuttles; they go hourly, and we were supposed to have reserved, and we didn't, and they were full.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, the one to get there for road trip was the one after.
Yeah.
Was okay, but that would have been, we'll say, too late.
Well, it would have been 9 o'clock. We'd have completely missed the start.
Exactly.
And it just seemed such a shame when we'd been there so early. So we were like in the lobby, just wondering what to do. We didn't want to drive there because we had a dining reservation at Wine Bar George. So
we'd be drinking.
Yeah, and we just felt a faff to then bring the car back to
then go back out again.
So we were umming and ahhing, and then there was a group of 4 people. They were a friendship group from the States, and they'd missed it as well, done exactly the same as us, hadn't realised. So
they just said, "Do you fancy grabbing an Uber or Lyft?"
I'm like, "Yes, please."
Was it okay? Then it was the thought, have we got any cash with us as well? Because obviously they booked it.
You had emergency cash.
Emergency cash. Always, even at home, for some reason, I've got like $20 or $40 in my wallet. And so it was just it was just perfect. They actually didn't want any money for it at all, but I wasn't going to do that.
No.
It was so nice, and this also goes on to talk about some of the highs, and it's actually the people that you meet on trips.
That's not actually written down here, but actually I agree with you.
It's the random encounters you have sometimes. It might be in a queue. I'm thinking now of one, I don't know if you're thinking of the same. There was a queue in a time in the queue for Joffrey's.
In Animal
Kingdom, speaking to this lovely couple from Georgia. And I just think sometimes they're the sort of highlights, and it's just we just like that. That's just so nice. And spending that time, I mean, we're probably half an hour
with these
sort
people.
of chatting.
Yeah,
it's just so nice interesting.
People. And I also want to say thank you to anyone that stopped us in the park to say hello as well. We really, really enjoy chatting with people, don't we?
Yeah.
We've met some really, really nice people over the years, haven't we?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and some have become sort of good friends and that. So even whether it's people just in the queue that we never ever speak to again, it's really, I just love speaking to other people that love these trips as well. Before we go on to Wine Bar George, did you want to touch on the Jeep that we hired as well?
Yeah, can do.
That's obviously, we picked that up at the start of the
trip.
trip.
We picked that up, and this time we normally go for like an SUV or a minivan. But this time it's just the 2 of us, so we thought, well, why not try something a little bit different? I thought rather than just like a normal car, I thought, let's go for the Jeep Wrangler, because we knew it was the 2 of us. Luggage wise, it wouldn't be a problem, and generally, I enjoyed it. If it was the 2 of us,
you said it felt like driving a toy.
It did feel like driving a toy in a positive way. No, it was a lovely car. But it's not something, if I was doing a road trip, it wouldn't be one I would choose I'd want to have on a long road trip. Also, I did find that although there's only 2 of us, I did struggle with getting the luggage in, and we had to use the back seats. Now, some people could say that's because we've taken sort of too much stuff. But bearing in mind, it could be you've got as a family of 4, and you've each got a case. you would struggle to get that in there. I think I managed to get 2 or 3 cases in the boot,
We've
and
got
that
3.
was it.
I've got.
Was it?
We vlogged it on the last
Was
day.
it?
Yeah, so we had 3 cases in the back, and the rest was the back seat.
Exactly.
So not even hand luggage would fit in the boat.
Yeah. So even 3. Okay, so let's just say 3 cases. If you've got more than 3 cases and there's 4 of you, you might have a bit of a struggle. No, it was fun. It was a fun car to drive. I'm glad we tried something different. We've always been kind of set in our ways. Oh yeah, must have this. Like for example, like the SUV to drive, because that's what we had on our first trip. But I kind of like over the time have been. It's a car at the end of the day, and sometimes it's driven by price. So of course, was this any cheaper than?
It was a couple of $100 cheaper.
Yeah, so it made no difference for us. We weren't doing any sort of massive drives. It was comfortable. I enjoyed it, and I know a lot of people love them, and I did as well. But I think if I was doing like a long road trip, it maybe wouldn't be my choice of car to have for that one. I'd prefer a minivan or say the large SUV.
As a passenger, I didn't think it was amazing. I love the big Tahoes when we have them. I love all that space. I love being able to fit my bags by my feet, like my handbag if we're going out for the day. Obviously I'm tiny, so there's always more space around me. But I know you enjoyed driving it. But it felt quite dark as well, didn't it?
It did actually, yeah.
I felt quite enclosed.
Yes, yeah, it did feel. I mean, it's quite sort of boxy, and it is actually quite a lot smaller. But again, I think because we're used to the larger cars, even the minivans. Yeah. When I say the minivans, they're like the 7-seater, like cars over here, with the sliding doors in the back and things like that. We've loved having those before.
Yeah, I have. They've been
but no, it was a great car, and it's good to try something different. I think that's something we found over time, isn't it? Try something different, stay somewhere else.
Let us know though, what kind of car do you go carless, or do you hire a car, and if so, what type of car do you like to go for?
Yeah, and always hiring from
Discount Florida Car Hire.
As always,
Andy.
always.
We've been going through him now since 2017, I think, haven't we?
Yeah, and I know a lot of people do use him as well, but we would definitely recommend using him. He's been amazing, and even times in trips in the past where we've had not issues with him, he's been fantastic. We've never ever had an issue. But when, for example, we've had a flight that's been cancelled or something like that, and we've had to change our booking, changing the booking to a different airport, it's just been done. So cannot recommend him highly enough, really.
I agree. Right, Wine Bar George. That was one of my highs of the trip, and a place that I want to go to again and again and again. Lee and Nick, the lodge guys, have said about it to us
they said to us, you've got
so
to go.
long. And they were so right.
They really were. So that first day, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had our first morning in Magic Kingdom once we finally got there. And then we headed over to Wine Bar George. We took the latest brunch reservation you could make. It was on a Sunday. And as it was, we were like ready really early, but it wasn't very busy at all actually.
Yeah, we sat out on the balcony.
Yeah, they let us I think we got in about an hour early actually, didn't we? Before our reservation. Yeah, we sat out on the balcony. It was perfect, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think for what we ordered charcuterie type board.
We had a brunch board.
We had a brunch board.
Yeah.
It was a bit like a charcuterie board.
Yeah, a sharing brunch board. I
can't remember what's on it now.
Oh gosh, it was so good. We had like sausage bits. There was bits of pork and cheese and bread. Oh, it was so delicious. Really good.
So nice. And then we'd also
the honey. You liked that with the honeycomb.
The honeycomb with the honeycomb and the nuts as well. It's just it was nice, and we both had frozen cocktails. You had your first frosé.
I did. It was a frozen rosé. I loved it. I wanted to go back for another one, but we just never got around to it.
And mine, I can't remember the name of it, but basically was an alcoholic version of a Dole Whip. I can't remember what was in it now, but
Dole Whip and rum.
Was it rum? Was it?
No, Prosecco actually, wasn't it?
Was it Prosecco? No, it was a mixture, wasn't it? I think it wasn't just Prosecco; it was other things. So
it was really good.
It wouldn't have been what I'd normally choose, but it was so good.
And then we ended up with mac and cheese bites as well, didn't we? We just didn't want the afternoon to finish. It was so nice.
But it was also nice because where we were sat, I think even if you're sitting inside, it's still such a lovely kind of location. Luckily enough, and we're going to touch on this point in a minute. Luckily enough, it was a nice enough weather. Nice enough weather, that didn't sound very good. No, the weather was nice enough that we could actually sit outside. What I mean by that, it wasn't your typical Florida heat. We could actually just enjoy and stay outside. And that was so nice. Sort of people watching in Disney Springs and just taking our time. We were in no rush whatsoever. And I think that's one big tip would give to people. Enjoy what you're doing. Also, if you're enjoying something, change your plans for later. If you want to carry on doing what you're doing, carry on doing it. Don't feel you've got to rush to go to the next thing.
Should we touch on weather?
Yes, since I spoke on that.
Yeah, that's what made me think about it. So we started in March, and it was like middle of March, wasn't it? It was for us the perfect weather. My sister joined us. She said it was too cold.
But then she's always cold.
I know, she is always cold, you're right. But we actually, if you want a cooler temperature, we really recommend going in March. We started, but go prepared. That's the only advice I would give.
Yeah, this is what we're going to say. And this isn't as a negative, it's just being prepared.
Yeah, so for us, it was a positive. For some people, it may be a negative, but we went prepared knowing that the temperatures were going to be cool in the evenings and the mornings. I went out with tights. I went out with vest tops, lots of little cardigans as well. So the idea is, and it worked out so well, because I think the lowest we got was 6 degrees, I think, one morning when we left.
I mean, it was possibly a bit cooler than it normally is in March.
Yeah.
That's fair to say. But
it does vary, doesn't it?
It does vary, but it was chilly in the morning and the evening. So just go prepared. Florida isn't always warm.
But it was, so we went to, and sometimes as well, you're leaving at like 7 in the morning, aren't you? Or even like 6:30 for Animal Kingdom. Yeah. So you know it's going to be chilly. It's dark, it's cold. So I wore my skin-coloured tights with little white socks. So then come sort of like 11 o'clock when it's starting to get up to mid-20s, I could then just take off my tights.
You could delayer.
Delayer. I had my little white socks in my bag, so I could just switch them over, and you can just easily do that discreetly. I'd have like my cute little Disney denim jacket and things, but I'd have another like short cardigan underneath as well. Yeah. So again, I layered up. I had vest tops under as well. So we didn't feel cold at all. My sister, however, didn't go prepared, even when I'd pre-warn her.
She still turned up at the park in t-shirt and shorts.
Yeah. But seeing other people as well, we were, one day...
we were waiting for Joffrey's, weren't we, outside Epcot?
Yeah, we were there really, really early. And this young girl, I say young girl, I mean, they were in their early 20s. They were at college, weren't they? And she was in, you know when the girls wear like tiny little, like cycling...
The sports, like tennis skirts.
Yeah, and she was that with a little vesty matching, like lycra top.
Like 7:30 in the morning.
And it was like 6 degrees, and it wasn't due to get over about 19 degrees that day. And her boyfriend was trying to keep her warm. We were chatting. They were locals as well. They were staying with his grandparents an hour away. So they should know better, shouldn't they? But you just see people going through the turnstiles, 6 degrees, in their skimpiest of summer clothing, and they must be freezing.
I know that it does warm up a bit later as well, so...
But not a huge amount sometimes.
And I'd actually say some of the days it was actually just really comfortable. You didn't feel you actually had to even need to go inside to get aircon breaks.
We loved it. We really loved it. I remember we went to the new tower at the Polynesium.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And we just decided we were staying at Bay Lake Tower, we just decided to wander back afterwards. You would not do that in August, would you? No. Or even May, possibly.
I mean, even when it's hot, we don't dislike it. We enjoy the heat, which is unusual for me because I'm the worst one to be out in the heat. But Florida heat, for some reason... It's kind of fine.
But we wouldn't walk from the Polynesium
we wouldn't. That would be too much.
Yeah.
But being out in it is fine. So we don't mind the heat. So we've been in some of the hottest months, haven't we? So we've kind of seen it on both sides. We've seen it when we've had to de-ice the car in the morning. We've also been it when it's sort of like 100 degrees out. So, but this was really, really nice. It also meant you could just enjoy your day without actually having to feel that you've got to be sheltering from the sun or making sure you're not out in the early afternoon, that type of thing. So for us, it was perfect.
Yeah, I'd really recommend it actually. If you don't like the hot, go in March.
Another little tip as well, I'm someone that's always just in shorts and t-shirt, even over here in the UK, pretty much all year round. I did actually have, rather than take a sweatshirt or something like that, or a hoodie, it's this thin kind of like zip up sort of top, isn't it? Great thing with that is it's so small, it just does slip into your bag. It's nothing worse. I mean, obviously I'm not the smallest as well either. If you've got like a hoodie, having to put that into a bag and then carry it around for the rest of the day. And I understand then why people do go into the parks without anything else.
They don't want to carry
because you're having to carry it, whereas this was really kind of quite small. A lot of the stuff you had, again, was quite small. Well, you're tiny anyway, aren't you? So,
my stuff easily rolls up.
But no, the weather for us, I mean, that was a big plus, but it was also, we're not going to say negative about it being cold, But just be prepared.
It was for my sister. It was too cold.
But she wasn't prepared.
No, she wasn't prepared. So. That's right. Right, while we're talking about weather and this time of year, let's touch on crowd levels as well. We went knowing it was going to be busy, and I think that's another thing about being prepared. We knew it was going to be busy to the point that we ummed and ahed about going this time of year. We were there in September before, and we actually spoke to a cast member at the Riviera, and sort of said, right, please give us some advice. We really want to go, but it's going to be during spring break. I wanted to be there for our wedding anniversary and my birthday, but we know it's one of the busiest times of year. And we were thinking, should we just maybe go another time? And we spoke to a cast member for advice, and she said, don't let it put you off. And she said, the thing is with spring break, it's young people and most of them don't want to get up in the morning. So she said, as long as you get up and go out, you'll be fine. And we decided to take her advice and obviously book the trip. And I think we went knowing it was going to be busy. So we went sort of with that idea. Open mind. And that if we don't ride everything, it's not the end of the world. And we had just been out of sort of a short while beforehand, and it was August, September. So it was quiet then. So we rode everything then anyway. So I went, I think going out knowing that it's going to be busy helped. And we kind of just enjoyed being there, didn't we? Like sometimes, I mean, we've been in Animal Kingdom and it was really, really busy. So we found other things to do. We did, just enjoyed being there. We spent longer time maybe in food places, just people watching.
Bars.
We just, became a more grown-up trip.
Kind of goes on what I said before about Wine Bar George. If we were having a good time somewhere, we rather than even if we had plans to do something, we thought, well, why don't we just do this?
But I still felt like we did loads, even though we didn't do as many rides.
Yeah, it felt an amazing trip. It felt like we were busy, but not busy. Yeah. If that makes sense. We were still doing our 20,000 steps.
Really relaxing.
But it was, yeah.
And I know some people asked us about doing a lightning lane video before we went. We ended up not doing lightning lanes. One of the reasons was, one, we weren't organised enough before we went, and we didn't really have an itinerary as such, did we? No. And the other reason...
Well, we did, but we didn't really...
It was quite loose, really, though, wasn't it? And then when we got there, because it was so busy, we would be like, okay, let's get a Guardians lightning lane. Oh, they're all gone. So we didn't really have any rides that we did want to do. The lightning lanes for that particular day were already gone.
Now, the other thing was as well, because we weren't spending time in a park for a whole day, the other option for lightning lanes is something we've thought of before, is if we know we're going to be there either the whole day or somewhere in the evening, we might have booked that kind of like sometimes in the evening. We've done that similar before when we've done that type of thing, where we thought, great, let's get a few of those rides in the evening. But because we didn't know maybe where we were going to be, it seemed a bit of a waste really doing it.
Or sometimes we might do a park for like the morning, and then we were going to Disney Springs in the evening. Yep. We didn't tend to go back out
to a park, did we?
Too much, no. So lightning lanes just didn't work for us. We just weren't organised enough to do them.
But we didn't, I don't think we needed them.
No, because we were happy with what we were doing.
Yeah.
We're definitely getting out. Oh, that's the other thing I would always recommend when you're doing early entry. Get there way before early entry, because the parks tend to open about half an hour beforehand anyway, don't they? So that's when the queues kind of start. You go to your rides and start queuing, so get there really early. And that's what we did. We were getting there about an hour before early entry, really.
And that was great. Animal Kingdom's the one I think of the most. I mean, we were staying on site, so we had the half-hour early entry as well. But I found that, obviously for us, Everest is our favourite go-to. And we just found we went there and rode that a couple of times, walk on both times. I think one time we then went on to go and do safari.
But it wasn't open.
No, it wasn't open then. But I think they've changed that now.
I know. I wonder if they do that, because we've done it before where Flight of Passage wasn't open for early entry, and now apparently it is. So I wonder if they just change things.
Yeah, I wonder if they swap it around a bit. But I find that we almost get our little bit of a fix, because then after that we're ready to maybe have a Joffrey's and a cake. So it's all different things. It's not all like chasing around.
I think it also, though, it then makes a holiday feel very different. Whereas the one previous, it was all about the rides. We were with the family, and it was ride to ride to ride to ride. And because there weren't really any queues, it was very different. So this one just felt so chilled, because it wasn't about the rides. It was about rides in the morning and then doing other things.
We did so much though.
I know.
And looking back on the vlogs, I think even some people have commented the fact of how much we actually did. But it did not feel that at all.
It felt super chilled. So I wanted to add as well, this was our worst trip ever for changing our plans and mind throughout the day. We were terrible, weren't we? That was another reason why lightning lanes just wouldn't have worked for us. We'd planned to do something and then end up doing something completely different. Change throughout the day, swap our meal sort of dining plans about.
Yep.
We were really bad at it, and for no particular reason.
But it was
because we could.
Because we could, and it worked out. Again, rather than think, well, yes, we've got that at the reservation, so we must keep that. Obviously, as long as we cancelled it in the right amount of time beforehand. But no, it was just nice. I mean, I think again, if you don't feel it, don't do it.
I think as well, I think sometimes Disney can feel so planned that there's no spontaneity, and when you're travelling with other people as well, you can't always swap and change. But I mean, we obviously had some days with my sister, but they were quite happy to swap and change things as well. But the days when we were on our own, it just felt so freeing, didn't it?
Yeah, I know. No,
and it was just really nice.
Yeah, it made again. It's a lot of people, or some people, are so why do you always keep going back? I don't think any two trips are the same. And those of you who are watching feel the same as us, you probably totally get it as well.
Yeah, let us know if you do, if you feel exactly the same.
So yeah, no, it was great. Oh, I just wanted to say a shout out to Helen, who watches our vlogs. Been chatting to her daughter Kate on Instagram, and I understand that you actually love watching our vlogs, so it's a hello from us as well, and thank you for watching. So I really appreciate that.
Right, I'm going to ask you a question. What was your favourite thing of the trip? What was your highest point?
Oh,
anything that stands out?
Keys to the Kingdom was great.
Oh, my birthday day.
Yeah. I think our anniversary.
That's what I was going to say as well. Our wedding anniversary was my favourite. We had a morning in Animal Kingdom.
It was like a day though, wasn't it?
Yeah. So. And then we went to Sanaa for the first time. It's a table service restaurant. Meal? Yeah. In Kidani, next to, it's like the DVC resort at Animal Kingdom, and it was just perfect. We had the most amazing table which looked out over the animals. I'd really recommend actually with Sanaa, if you're really wanting that kind of like animal table sort of view, to book a sort of like table during the day. So if you obviously go in the evening and it's dark, you're not going to see outside. No. That's why we booked a late lunch, didn't we, for that reason. It was just perfect. We really enjoyed it.
Sanaa's very well known for the bread service, and for years we've wanted to try the bread service, and it did not disappoint. It was so filling though.
It was really good.
But it was
we had an amazing cocktail as well.
Yes.
Always as well ask the servers for recommendations. We do that a lot now, don't we? And she recommended, did you have the same as me?
I think I did, yeah.
It tasted like it was a fruity cocktail, but it tasted like it was a cherry Bakewell cocktail.
Okay, yeah, do you know, I can't remember the name of it.
I can't remember either. It was really delicious.
If any of you had cocktails at Sanaa, please tell us below what we drunk.
It was so good.
You're going to have to go and look over it now, see what it was.
Yeah, you should make them. That would be really nice. But yeah, we really recommend it.
Oh, no, we had different ones, I think.
Yeah?
Because why can't I remember? I remember I had one which was quite a typical cocktail, but I'd never had one before, and I loved it.
You didn't have like a thingy island, did you?
No, it wasn't that.
Okay.
No. Those of you who've watched our vlogs and remember what we've drunk, please tell us what we've drunk. I'm going to have a look at it. We never know.
Got the pictures of them, but yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was my favourite.
It was a perfect day. So I'm trying to remember what we did after doing Sanaa.
My sister arrived on her cancelled flight. Oh. Yeah, their trip wasn't quite as good as ours, was it?
No. So yeah, that did. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I remember now. So yeah.
Yeah, poor thing. Her flight got cancelled, and she ended up arriving a whole day later, didn't she? Yeah. Mention Keys to the Kingdom.
Yes. Can we get to that in a minute?
Yeah, I was just going to say that we did we did Keys to the Kingdom, which is a walking tour in Magic Kingdom, behind the scenes, about 5 hours. We did that on my birthday. Really enjoyed it. We did do a video, so if you'd like more information, you can't actually film on the tour, but if you'd like more information, I'll leave the link to that video.
Or leave a comment or question there, and we'll happily answer if there's anything. If it's something you've been interested in doing, gladly, we'll
sort of chat to you about it.
Chat to you about it. So no, it was that was really, really good. And one little thing I would say about that is the fact that we booked that quite late, quite close to going, didn't we?
Because they hadn't released the dates.
Not because we weren't organised, but it just the day wasn't coming up.
It's usually 60 days beforehand.
And just by chance, we would just check it, as you do with Disney. You just check things and check again. And that's what I was going to say. Another top tip: if you don't see something, just keep checking. And then one day we did it, and it was there, and so we booked it.
We did have the Animal Kingdom trek booked instead,
yes.
But we really wanted Keys to the Kingdom, so when those came out we ended up cancelling the Animal Kingdom
and then did
we'll do that
Keys
another
to the Kingdom.
time. Yeah, so we were really pleased.
So just always go back. Don't feel that the time you've gone to look at it, it's gone. And that can be the same with dining reservations as well. Your ADRs, if you don't get them on the moment they get released, keep checking them.
Yeah.
Because they can, obviously people cancel.
Yeah.
So.
Right, you want good news or bad news next?
Bad news.
Bad news.
Get the bad news done.
Okay. When we checked into Bay Lake Tower for the first time ever in a Walt Disney Resort, I won't say Disney Resort because you may well have seen the...
Disneyland Paris.
Yeah. The Disneyland Paris, that was filthy, that room, so we won't even go there. But the not Wilderness Lodge, Bay Lake Tower room, it was the first time we had a really dirty room when we arrived, didn't we? Yeah, it was a bit disappointing. It was in one of the newly renovated rooms as well.
Yeah, I don't think it'd been properly, there's a few things, but I don't think it'd been properly, should we say, signed off.
So that was a bit disappointing because it never ended up being properly cleaned either. Because when you're DVC members, you don't get cleaners at all unless you're
staying there for longer than 7 days.
Yeah, which we weren't. I think we were there 6 nights.
Yeah.
So we didn't get a cleaner. And although we asked for somebody to come out, they never ended up coming out.
Which is unusual because Disney are normally pretty. And they were, in fairness, the issues we did have, did get resolved or partially resolved. Yeah,
because we couldn't open our balcony door.
Yeah, and I think what happened because we were the first people staying. Well, we were told we were the first people staying in there. So, for example, the patio door, I think there's just sort of hadn't been properly cleaned out after it all been put in and things like that. So there were I don't know what it was kind of thing, but the door we couldn't open, so there was an engineer there greasing it and cleaning it out.
Lovely,
and hoovering.
Wasn't he?
He was lovely, yeah. So it was so helpful. We actually ended up seeing him, didn't we, every now and again for the rest of our time there. But no, that was good. I think so,
like
yeah.
That. He was so lovely.
Yeah. But it was other things like the floor just didn't feel clean.
It was just dirty everywhere.
And we actually ended up cleaning it ourselves because we were there for that amount of time.
But all the sofa was covered in sand or something. It was salt. It was all white drips, but all down the drawers. It was just everywhere just was grubby, wasn't it?
And it kind of then did impact the rest of our day because having to deal with that just meant it took time.
We were supposed to be meeting up with my sister, so that kind of shifted their plans. It was just a bit of a pain.
Bit of a disappointment, really.
But what we were going to say is that if ever you do have an issue, do speak to somebody.
Yeah.
Because we had a room, it wasn't a room issue at all, but we were in Wilderness Lodge once and we had a really high balcony, but it was a brick wall and there's not many of them. They've all got the bars and it
looks nice on the outside.
Yeah, it made our room really, really dark.
Yes.
But also when you're sat there on the balcony,
you've got actually a wall, look out.
And you've got this lovely view. And we were there for a whole week that time, and I wish at the time we'd have said, I mean, it's no big deal, the room was still lovely, but it made for a really dark room, and I wish now at the start we'd have just asked.
Said something.
Because I'm sure if there was another room, we could have just swapped. And I wish we'd have done that. So if ever you've got an issue, do ask.
And funnily enough, we did do that when we stayed at Riviera.
That we learnt our lesson from that, actually.
Where we were, because we'd booked, it was a preferred room that we had.
That's all that was available at the Riviera, wasn't it?
But we'd preferred room, and we were kind of on the corner inside, and it sounds like it's a small thing, but again, it just felt dark.
But we'd used a lot of our points for preferred because that's all that was available. But then we were stuck around the side of the building, and it wasn't actually a preferred view.
No,
which wasn't the end of the world. But again, because we were in the corner, we know how a dark room makes us feel, and we just thought we're here for a whole week. And so we just went back to the lobby and no problem at all. We just got them popped into another room. Yep. So it's no big issue. It just took a few minutes out of our time. Disney don't mind because obviously somebody else can have the room. And then we got the actual room that we were after, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, so on the other side of it, we've mentioned about our stay at Bay Lake. Prior to staying at Bay Lake, we were at Copper Creek, which is our home resort.
You're going on to the good news now.
This is have I jumped ahead? Have I?
That's fine.
Oh, do you need to say the good news?
Go on then, tell me the good news.
It was our room at Copper Creek, which is part of Wilderness Lodge. Copper Creek are the DVC rooms there. It's our home resort. We love staying there. And there are some rooms, they are studios, but they are corner rooms. Now, for the life of me, I can't remember the room numbers. So what I'm going to say, if anyone is interested, please send us a message, because we will look them up, because they end in a certain 2 digits. And I don't want to say it now because I might get it wrong and then it's not right, and I'd hate to do that. But if you want to know, or if I remember, I'll leave a comment, and I don't know if you can pin in YouTube.
Yeah,
pin comments.
Yeah.
But please send us a message, and we'll remember to put the room number there.
But it's like a 1-bedroom suite, isn't it?
Yes, it's really nice. It's all open, so it's not like it's a separate bedroom, but it is just a lovely corner room that's got...
It was massive.
It's got 2 balconies.
Yeah.
The bedroom itself was just
massive.
like a massive hotel room on its own. That would have done as a normal room.
And it was the same points for a studio.
And it's the same points.
We had like a kitchen as well. We had a separate living area.
Yes.
It was, I could have lived there.
It was so nice to be able to stay there.
And I wonder if also that made leaving that, then going to Bay Lake and checking into a dirty room. I wonder if it was just a bit of a come down as well after having such a perfect room. And at the end of the day, you're staying at Disney in a deluxe resort.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I think that's the other thing. You can feel guilty sometimes for sort of like ringing up saying, or going to speak to somebody that your room's not clean, or asking to swap rooms. You feel, I'm so lucky to be staying here anyway. But I do think it's okay though if you're not happy with a room.
Well, you do need to think as well, because it could be someone else. That's their one only trip that they're actually staying somewhere. So maybe, hopefully, what we've sort of said, and it isn't, and it wouldn't necessarily call it complaining, I'd only speak to somebody about something if it was something that was needed to be said. We are fortunate enough that we do go back quite a few times. It could be someone, their one and only trip. So it's important to say these things. But also, on the flip side, it's also important to say good things as well, which is what we always do.
Yeah.
Cast compliments. You'll see it on the My Disney Experience app. It's always worth doing that, and we will always make sure we do. And I always make a note in my phone. If I'm somewhere, I'll make a note of their name, what it was, just so later on, if I forget, I can go back and do it. So it works both ways. So
yeah. One of my big down points of this trip, no, that's over exaggerating really. It wasn't the whole trip, but a scary moment was when we rolled back on Guardians. I've never had that experience before on a ride, and it terrified all of us, didn't it? We were with my sister and her husband Ben, and basically, if you don't know what a rollback is, I don't think I knew what it was actually. When you're on a roller coaster, but you don't quite make it up, and then you suddenly roll back.
Velocicoaster's quite well known for it.
That would be terrifying.
Yeah. The bit that goes up, it's quite known if it doesn't quite make it. I don't know why, but yeah.
I think what made this worse though was that we rolled back, stopped, but we could see the other carriage
going round at full speed.
And I think because of what happened in this country with Smiler
at Alton Towers,
when it then went back into went into the back of the stationary train, that was what all 4 of us went through our minds. And Ben actually apparently turned to Sarah Jane and he said, "This isn't going to end well." And we were terrified. But then to start, and we did the rest of Guardians with the lights on, didn't we? And no music. It was just so odd. But we all came off quite shaken up. Funnily enough, there were 2 girls sat behind us.
They were from
England as well. And we all got chatty.
We spoke to them.
They felt exactly the same. We were all terrified that it was just going to end really badly. Cast members never said anything. We did get given a lightning lane.
We actually went over to say about it, and we did get a lightning lane for it.
But then speaking to somebody, because we just kind of wanted to know more about it, so we spoke to somebody later, and he said, "Oh, it happens all the time on Guardians. It just hasn't quite reached its speed, so it rolls back." But he said there was a safety thing.
There will be features. There'll be control systems that don't allow things to happen.
But like the other car going in.
That would have stopped.
But it didn't with Smiler. Things happen, and when you're in a moment, you don't think logically either.
Oh,
you
I know,
panic, don't you?
But there are control systems in place that will actually be, that's why the word fail-safe. It will fail safe.
But to hear afterwards, I wish somebody would have just said that when we got off. Oh, don't worry, that kind of thing happens. It's made me feel happier for next time. But it was, my brother was at Thorpe Park just last week. And what's the new one? Mine's called
Hyperion?
Yeah, Hyperion. They actually watched it. It was up like that, and it was there for about 5 minutes. That would be terrifying. I just thought of how I feel on Ride Rocket, and it was at the top like that as well.
I think the one for me was when we were in Universal. Was it Universal?
Yes,
was it Universal? Was it not Gringotts, was it?
It was Gringotts. That was terrifying.
And it stopped at a point, I don't know which part of the ride it was, but we were almost at 45 degrees facing down. We could not see, but there was a drop. Obviously,
I held my phone over actually to take a photo. But it was just,
your sister wanted to take a picture. She said, no thank you, I'm not giving you my phone.
Yeah, she's terrible at losing things.
She'll lose it the best of times.
Something I kept worrying about as well was
if
the safety thing came out. We were there for ages as well. All the lights came on. There was nothing to hold on to. There was no bars or anything. So
there was a bar because it was there, but it wasn't that far forward.
But it was your safety thing. If that gave away, there was nothing to hold on to because I was pushing my feet out.
And it was that steep.
We were on the front,
And it was that steep to feel that you would topple over.
And then no warning. We were sat there for ages. No warning at all. Lights still on. It just went, and we were all terrified. Everyone on that carriage screamed. And again, we came off really shaken up, didn't we?
Yeah.
Why do we do these things to ourselves? I would love to know, actually, have you ever been in a situation on a ride that has terrified you, and because something happened that wasn't supposed to happen? Do you think everyone's been in a situation? People that have done a lot of rides.
Do you know the one which I think will be the most terrifying?
What's that?
Getting stuck in Small World.
Oh, I wondered what you were going to say then.
Can you imagine that? I think I timed it. The ride's about 10 minutes to normal, but imagine being stuck on that.
I don't think
and not turning the music off.
And turning all the lights off.
What would pirates be?
Well, Paula and Andy, our friends, got stuck on that, didn't they? Yeah, I think we've covered pretty much everything on our list.
I think we have actually, yeah. So we're
going to do a separate video for food and snacks and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, we're going to maybe chat about dining plan. So those of you that did watch our vlogs will know that we did the dining plan. We didn't get it as part of free dining plan. We did pay for it, which in some ways we did it on purpose to see, is it worth it? Would we do it again?
My sister was going and they had the free dining plan, so it coincided with them, so we all did the dining plan together.
But I think it was nice to do it this way because I think it does give you a completely different view of it, but we'll cover that in a separate video. If
you've got any questions though, please let us know, or if there's anything you'd like a particular video done on, we'd be happy to do that, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
We love a good chat.
And also if there's anything else, any other subjects or anything we've spoken about, but yeah, we plan on doing a video in regards to dining plan. Also, there was another one we said we were going to do.
I don't know.
I can't remember now.
Food, just food in general.
Yeah, food in general.
Favourite snacks, meals that we had.
Favourites, I actually made a note of it.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Travel day.
Oh, okay.
You said about doing a travel day.
Oh, because we think we've got it down to the perfect travel day now.
Yeah, for us.
Yeah.
For us. Yeah. So we're probably going to actually do maybe a chatty video on travel day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. Well, I've really enjoyed this. It's been nice getting back to doing a chatty one again. We hope you've enjoyed this, and thank you once again for following along. We really, really appreciate it, don't we?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you in the next chatty one.
Yeah.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.